This guitar, everybody loves it.
What I like about Copley Guitars is the playability, the sound, their good looks. They're just an all-around good guitar.
The reason why we sell Copley instruments in my store is because it's the best value you're going to find in that price range. It's better than most instruments, double the price.
I would recommend a Copley guitar because it's a great tool to have. It's a great instrument, very good sounding instrument.
When I was original member of the Marshall Tucker Band, if these guitars would have been available then, I definitely would have played one.
You know, the fact that these guitars are made by musicians, I think, is probably the primary reason that they play and sound as well as they do.
What sets Copley apart from the other manufacturers are the quality of the materials and supplies that they use in the manufacturing of the guitar, like the quality tuning keys that they use, the solid spruce top, the rosewood fretboard, the beautiful binding that they have around the entire instrument. It really sets it apart from anything in its price range.
Now, the reaction I've got from this guitar are, my God, look at that wood, look at the color, look at that finish, look at the color. I mean, who built this thing? It's just, nobody can, you know, they can't figure out where it came from. And they look at the stuff like where the neck and the body's joined, because a lot of times companies won't pay attention to that kind of stuff, those kind of details. And Copley does. They've done their homework. They must have a crew of musicians building these things because they know how to build them. All the seams, all the joints, these things are smooth as glass. They look gorgeous. The wood's great. The finishers are great on these things. I mean, somebody stops and takes their time with these guitars.
One of the things I like are these tuning keys. You can tell by the tightness of them that they'll stay locked in. Once you get it in tune, it'll stay there a while. That's very important. And Copley is definitely a quality guitar, and you can feel that just as soon as you pick it up. You know that you're holding a fine quality instrument. You know, not only does it feel great, but it sounds wonderful as well, which is just as important as the way it's made is the way it sounds.
Back at Christmas, I heard it. Somebody was playing it at a Christmas party, and I was really, really surprised by the sound of the guitar, and I played it and started playing it and kept playing it, and just, boy, before I knew, I was, well, kind of hooked. Great sounding guitar. I don't know how many of you have road experience, but things get banged around. I have looked out of airplane windows and seen my guitar case upside down under about 10 layers of baggage. and this is a really strong guitar. I know it'd really hold up to the rigors of the road.
When I'm on stage, I never have to worry about the guitar. It stays in tune great. It sounds great. I can just concentrate on my performance.
I like the sound of it. You know, plugged in, it sounds really great. We're all on in-ear monitors, and it sounds, you know, it sounds like you're in a studio with a couple big old microphones on it.
I fell in love right away with his guitars. I brought it to the studio to Brent Mayer, our producer at the time. I showed him his guitar and we tried it in the studio, and everybody was just freaked out about that. So since then I'm playing the Copley guitars.
I use electric a couple times in the studio, and I was amazed as well. Our first record we done with national producer Brent Mayer. We tried it in the studio and George Strait songs, and he was blown away. You know, it sounded like a mixture of somewhere in between like Gibson and Fender, you know, kind of best of both worlds.
As a producer, I like the sound of this guitar because it's nice and warm if you're just using a real thin pick for some rhythm, real country rhythm things. And I've played it probably on a dozen demos and a couple of records, and it cuts through, goes to tape nice and warm, and the more I play it, the more I like it. We've kind of grown to be buddies.
I've recommended these guitars to several of my friends, co-writers and also touring musicians as well.
I get a great reaction from my friends. They all love the sound, and they want to know where they can get one.
Yes, I would definitely recommend these guitars to my fellow songwriters. I often do. As a matter of fact, I've sold a few guitars for Copley. There's a few songwriters that have gotten interested in them because of our writing sessions, and man, I got to have one of those guitars, and they end up getting them.
I'd recommend this to people I don't even like.
You know, the fact that this guitar is made for musicians by musicians, I think is really important. You know, a musician who has played a long time, they know what they would like out of a guitar, how they would like it to sound, and really the quality, the durability that you're going to need out of a guitar.
I love the fact that these things are built by musicians because a company actually listens to what people who use these things for a living want and need on a guitar, and they don't have to go out and change 3/4 of the guitar just to be able to take them out and make a living with them. When somebody comes to them with a suggestion, they take that suggestion, they go back to the people that designed the guitars, they put the ideas in action, and you know, when they pull them out of the case, they can use them.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that these were designed by a musician. The way that the neck angle is set, the quality of the materials, like the tuning machines, and of course the playability. Without a doubt, these were absolutely designed by a musician, not so much some engineer sitting in a cubicle.
These people must have 24-hour phone lines over there, because I was scheduled to do a TV taping in New York on one day. I called my friend John and asked him, man, is there any way to get a guitar here? I've got to tape the early show, I believe, in New York, CBS show. And the next day there was a guitar on the doorstep, and it was this guitar. And the very first time this thing was played was on worldwide television. And it sounded perfect on TV. I didn't have to change anything out on it. Unpacked it, tuned it up, and went. So I mean, they listened to what I needed and jumped on it right away.
They've really gone out of their way to make sure we've got everything we need. They'll take care of you real quick.
Well, one of the great things I love about this guitar, besides the quality of it, is that for a guy like me who stays out of tune a lot, it's always nice that I can just hit this little button. It's got a built-in tuner, and all I got to do is hit that little button, and when I go from red to green, I'm ready to go and back in the saddle again.
As a luthier, what's impressed me about these instruments is the quality of the fretwork, the voicing at the top, the projection that these guitars have, the dynamic that they produce when you play them, just the overall quality of the construction of the instrument. This is an instrument you don't have to do a whole lot of repair work to down the road, just general maintenance.
There's a couple reasons why I really like this guitar, the Copley, over other guitars, and I have been playing a long time. One is the guitar itself. It's a great guitar. It's good quality. The makeup of the guitar, again, basically a guitar is a guitar. But when you talk about the way a guitar feels and sounds, and most important, the sound of a guitar, and these guitars in particular, this model has a great sound, and that's important. Whether you're electric or acoustic, you get a great sound out of this guitar. Secondly, and probably the most important to me, is the service. It's just like any other item you buy in life. If you buy a new car, you want to know that you can take that guitar back to a company that's going to take care of you and be responsible. And Copley Guitar has been that way for me better than any other guitar company I've ever been with.
You know, we're always told not to get our hopes up, but with Copley, you can. Get your hopes up.
It's a beautiful guitar, and people see it and they go, wow, man, I've never seen a guitar look like that before. And everybody loves it.
I mean, it's best as you can get.
Like them a lot.